I want to steal a question off Reddit for our podcast this week.
Really?
Someone posted a topic of when are you supposed to wear a robe?
When are you supposed to wear a robe?
When are you supposed to wear a robe?
When you're cosplaying, what's his name from the Playboy Mansion?
Oh,
Hugh Hefner?
We both think along the same lines, because my answer to that question was during your seductions.
But you need to also have a corncob pipe.
No, you don't need the corncob pipe. It's you can wear a robe whenever, but you need to be wearing one during your seductions, I think is what I came up with.
That's fair. But I mean, yeah, it makes sense. If you're the Hugh Hefner it up, then that's definitely sometime you want to do that.
That man is always involved in a seduction of some kind, yeah.
Well, he was eye fucking the cameras all the time.
Yeah.
That's just who he was. He exuded that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't think of any other time, actually, now that I think about it.
Well,
Maybe at home when you're tired?
Yeah, like, it's the obvious answer is also, like, when you're at home and you've already taken off your pants but need to go outside for, like, 10 seconds.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
But they're two opposite ends of the spectrum. Where, like, one's like this, like, you say the answer and you're like, that's a little uncomfortable to hear anyone say ever. And the other one's like, that's the epitome of lazy.
I would rock it for a bit, but I always just wear shorts for the most part. So
yeah, my issue's always been it's like, oh, you can get like the bathrobe. I'm like, the bathrobe outside is a weird like cry for help. That's like I lost my crack and I'm trying to find it kind of moment almost. Like you have to have like the good robe, like a real robe with like some embroidery on it or something, so people go, he's a classy crazy person.
Or he's a, what do you call it? What's the word I was looking for? Or you're a flasher who's getting ready to...
That's a trench coat. You don't use a robe for flashing. You use a gray trench coat. Those are the rules of perversion.
A gray trench coat.
A gray trench coat with the double button thing going on. You have to have the kind of wraparound tie for quick flashing, but you do not use a robe for flashing. It's too suspicious.
Huh. Didn't realize there was such a science to this.
There is. The rules of being street perverts are very real.
Is this something you found on your adventures in the darknet?
Not the darknet necessarily, just living in other cities.
Gotcha.
You learn certain things, like guy in a gray trench coat and socks. You avoid that guy, because he's obviously up to some stuff. Like, that's also the guy who's, like, going over to his girlfriend's place for some, like, romantic surprise and is like, I'm gonna do something different. You're like, you're a fucking weirdo for riding the bus like that, but power to you, buddy. As someone who enjoys the kilt lifestyle, there are moments where it's like, would I wear this on a bus? No, I would not.
No? Why not?
Ever worn a kilt?
No.
I don't know how girls stood on anything in public. Like, it's that awkward moment of, do you want to risk the possibility of your nuts touching a seat you have no idea who the fuck sat on before you?
That's true. That's a little,
Yeah. I
keep thinking about it more now. I'm just like,
yeah. Like I said, I don't know how women who wear skirts and dresses sit on anything in public ever.
Yeah.
That would never be far from my mind. It's like, you have no idea what was here previously. It was obviously a slime monster. Hello and welcome to the Wicked Awesome Cast, episode 112.
Woo-da-woo!
We're the official podcast of Slim Wicked Studios, and as always, I'm Charlie, aka Mordak, joined by Alex, aka... what's it, like, Drudging Offline or something?
It's Mr. Hipster 69.
Yes, Mr. Hipster 69.
Yes.
As part of his moving, he's been forced to change his gamer's tags. His change of address did not go through.
Yep. Unfortunately, so at this point, I am now Mr. Hipster 69 to fit in my new surroundings.
Yeah. Have you taken up vaping yet to fit in?
Not yet. I'm working on it, but, you know.
Are they still about the corncob pipe up there?
Yeah, I'm working on getting a corncob pipe, yes. Or corncob pipe.
You know, if you were really of the point, you'd make your own with a corncob.
I wouldn't even know where to start with that.
You buy some corn,
Uh-huh.
You chop it in half and you hollow out the center and you put a hole through the side of it and you then get like a hollow wooden dowel or something and now you have a pipe.
Huh. Well, then I'll report back next week on my corn cob accomplishments. If not, I'll just vent my frustrations next week.
One of my favorite hipster-ass stories I ever heard was someone talking about how they were changing from using a bowl to smoke weed to a pipe to smoke weed, and part of my brain was just like, there are so many things wrong about this sense, and I want to kick your ass for it. Like that's the Portland version of that story, where it's like, oh, I only smoke weed out of a corncob pipe I made from actual corn.
Huh.
I only smoke out of the most organically sourced bong apples.
Organically sourced? What?
Have you never seen someone smoke out of an apple before?
Oh, yeah, I have myself. But
Yeah, it's a bong apple.
yeah, but wait. You're asking me to do that now?
I don't
Since
know.
I'm up here?
I'm not
I'm
asking
like, I'll
you
do
to
it,
do
man.
shit.
I'll do it for the podcast. I'll do it, man.
I'm not asking you to do shit, man.
I'm fucking doing it. Next week, I'm going to be high on fucking
I-
apple weed, and I don't know what else. But
Save it for episode 420.
perfect. That'll work.
Get
like where
Jeff
this is
back,
going.
make him try weed, see what happens.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
If my times of dragging Jeff into rooms at anime conventions he was not prepared for are any indication, yes. Yes, it would be. Man, I make that guy watch a lot of almost gay porn.
What?
You actually ever been to an anime convention?
I've been to an anime convention.
Not
yes.
Anime Expo in the dealer's room. I mean, like, actually been an attendee all day at an anime convention, and we're there, like, after 11 p.m.
I don't know what other one you referred to.
No, I mean, like, as an attendee, just kind of, like, mulling about, going to as many panels as you can go to.
Oh, yeah, I've done a few of those.
Fair. So, the big one back where me and Jeff grew up is called Anime Boston, and they had an after-hours thing that started on, like, it may have been, like, 8 p.m. on Saturday and Friday nights was after-hours, but because of that, like, Sunday morning would roll around, and there'd still be one room showing boy love anime, which isn't porn, but it's so much more graphic. And I remember there was one time where, like, we were, me and Jeff were there and we were tired or hungover or something. I think I was hungover, Jeff was tired, and we were trying to find a place just to sit down for a little while, and we wound up in one. It was just like, okay, where the fuck is this shit going?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I've gone to any of those conventions with you. I have gone to other ones, but not that level.
If you haven't watched people dub hentai live, have you even actually been to an anime convention?
Wait, what?
The Anime Boston, the old podcast we talked about this, one of the main events of the after hours stuff was the main room, the kind of big, like, stadium area, they would do live hentai dubbing in there. They'd bring random audience members up and make them dub hentai. It was great.
That's so creepy.
It was fucking creepy.
God, why? Why?
Because it's hilarious.
No, that's just creepy.
No, it's kind of awesome.
Oh, God.
The truest of anime.
Fucking anime weirdos.
Yeah.
So I am glad I've never been too crazy about it, but
I haven't either, but I can I used to really appreciate parts of the culture. I still, like, if you said, like, hey, we're going to a live hentai dubbing, I would still go. I think I'm at that point in my life where I'm comfortable with myself to be like, nah, I'm gonna go to that. No, like, unless I have, like, a child with me, I'm going to that shit without any kind of arm twisting required, because it's always been hilarious every time I've gone previously.
still, that's just like, hey, Charlie, what are you doing tonight? Oh, well, I'm just kind of hanging out. Hey, dude, I got this hentai recording that's doing a live audience thing. You want to go? Yeah, dude, no problem. Let's go.
Will there be a crowd of at least 50 people? Dude, there'll be like 300 people. I am in! Let's go! Will a Wookiee and some dude dressed as a biker do the sound score for a lesbian scene? Yes. Awesome. Will the Wookiee stay in character the entire time? Of course. This is what I want.
That's...
Will the scene end with that Wookiee roar? Hells yeah.
I don't... God damn you, Charlie. Every time.
Every time.
So, you know, part of me is glad that I have moved out of distance from you to drag me into any of these weird-ass things. Like, I like it when you take me places like the Gwar Show. That stuff is fun. But, like, this weird next level strange world you've been a part of that terrifies me sometimes. Let me change that. Terrifies me all the fucking time.
Because you know it's out there.
Yeah, like your stories of like pre-FGC before FGC became big. That stuff scares me.
Yeah, that's the truest FGC.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrifying.
I have found some of that pure FGC actually in the tabletop community. I definitely heard of a tournament of like tabletop stuff that still has like people in horse mask issues, and I'm like, I need to go to that. I think why it's terrible. You don't understand. I miss back when like that was how you competed
in the horse head.
In the horse head. Again, if you haven't had a money match between two people in their underwear and just horse masks, did you even have a fighting game tournament?
I have no words.
No, you didn't.
You and your weird world of shit you do.
I never took you to Lucha Vavoom, did I?
About what?
I never took you to Lucha Vavoom, did I?
That I've heard of, and I wanted to go to.
I have been to Lucha Vavoom several times.
Tell me about it.
It is bad stripper show and decent Lucha Libre combined into one magical experience.
Yeah, I'd totally be down for something like that. Just because I remember seeing it, they had a Valentine's Day show I wanted to go check out.
The Valentine's Day show is the worst show.
Think of the Mayo one is better?
I prefer the Halloween one because they had lots of blacklight matches, and I stand by some of the best wrestling I've ever seen was at one of the Halloween shows I went to where you had two giant dudes versus two little people wrestlers all in black lights, so it's just kind of like neon skulls, tiny neon skulls versus giant hulking neon skulls, and that was pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. It was a tag match, too, so that was kind of cool. The shorties won.
Of course. The underdogs.
And for the clarity, I'm not talking just like some short people, I'm talking like some 4'11" sub people that I'm not to say the word midget to describe anymore correctly.
You what?
I miss that word. It's so descriptive. But I get it.
You can't say it anymore?
Not supposed to.
Really?
And I'm trying to make an active move to not say it anymore because I did offend someone the other day with it.
What?
Not recently, but I had a moment the other day where it's like, oh my god, I'm like, this is wrong. I'm better than this. Yes, it's two people at a pumpkin patch and they're the size of pumpkins, and I find that amazing, but it's not fair to them to think this way. They're people. They're not going around being like, holy shit, he's tall.
That's true. Although I'd love to hear him, like, turn it around and be like, what's up, you tall motherfucker over there? How's the weather up there, you giant piece of shit?
You need to go to more Lucha Libre matches with short people in them then, because that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I'd love to see something like
Lots
that.
of you fucking come down here, I'll beat your ass. It's like, damn.
Yeah, or something along the lines of, hey, the only way I'm gonna whoop that, only way I'm gonna punch you in the face is if I climb up a fucking beanstalk, you giant piece of shit.
Best wrestling I've ever seen was kind of along those lines, where like, well, that's still the best wrestling match I ever saw was the Mime versus the one-legged dude, but
Wait, what?
Have we never talked about Freak Show Wrestling with you?
No?
Freak Show Wrestling is a wrestling that used to be near my old apartment. Freak Show Wrestling was done out of Rikishi's wrestling gym, which was near my old apartment, and me and my girlfriend at one point went and saw a wrestling match that the kind of culminating event for it was a giant battle royale that started off with a mime versus a dude with one leg, and because these were the two best wrestlers ever in existence, they only attacked the missing leg, so it was the mime putting the missing leg into, like, clutches and holds and elbow drops and shit, and it was amazing.
That is
best
beautiful.
Wrestling ever.
That's actually pretty fucking cool.
And then a giant octopus squid attacked the ring, and it was done by the guys who do Guar's outfits, and then all hell broke loose and stuff happened, but it was a weird evening. There was a cop that got taken out by that. Like, someone drove a motorcycle through that gym at one point in the evening. Like, there was lots of stuff where I'm like, wasn't expecting this. Not surprised at this point, but
you know, every time I think they're done surprising me, like, I'm like, you know what? I think he's tapped the well dry when it comes to just the weird stuff. But if you had told me it'd be before noon we haven't had any alcohol, and we've been discussing a mime wrestling with an imaginary leg for a dude who has one. Well, let me rephrase that. A mime was wrestling with a one-legged dude, and he had the imaginary leg in a clutch lock.
Submission holds all the way on that missing leg. It was awesome.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if you're lucky you didn't know me the first 2 years when I lived in LA, or you missed out, because that's when you get like texts from me at like 5 p.m. being like, yo, you want to go do X? And X would be like, you want to go see a tag team wrestling match of like people in like Mario outfits fighting each other?
Wait.
I went to a lot of Lucha Libre shows back then, and other stuff was up. That was when you could text me like, hey, you want to go do X? I'd be like, I am fucking down. That sounds amazing. And now I've done too much of all that stuff, so it's like, oh, you want to go do X? Yeah, I used to go to that, but I don't like the direction they're going in right now. It's not as good as it used to be, man.
Huh. Yeah, apparently I guess there's this whole culture that I never saw, and maybe I'm glad I never saw it, to be honest with you. It terrifies me to know what's out there in Los Angeles now.
Lurking below the surface.
Yeah, you know what? I grew up in the hood in LA. You know what? I kind of am glad. Like, it was in my way, my own little shelter.
How far away from San Francisco are you?
Currently?
Yeah.
Further than I am from, well...
All right, the entire state of Washington's between you and California, isn't it?
The Washington's above me.
Oh, I got that swapped, yeah. So if you ever feel the urge to go to a real Charlie-ass event, go to the only reason I want to go to San Francisco.
Okay.
Hood Slam.
Hood Slam?
Yeah.
What is Hood Slam?
It's a wrestling event, but it's got great moments of like Link from The Legend of Zelda, that Link, versus like Drugs Bunny, who is totally not a copyright infringing Drugs Bunny who's just strung out on cocaine.
Okay, so Drugs Bunny and
Link.
Okay.
Like Mario might show up, or Ryu, however you want to pronounce it. Like, it's a thing I've been told I should go to, and it currently is one of the few reasons I would ever go to San Francisco, is to go to Hood Slam.
I think that might be farther, but that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be willing to give that a shot. I actually haven't stopped by San Fran in a long time, so...
We should go to Hood Slam together, and you can have a magical, terrible evening with Charlie. Drink this 40. Why? It's part of the evening.
It's part of the evening. Just drink it.
Do it. It'll help you later. What happens later? Remember to tuck and roll. What are we doing?
That's pretty good.
Should we get to weeks?
I think so. I'm just
Do you need a minute?
Yeah,
I'll go so you have a chance to collect your thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead, Charlie. Go on. Tell me about your week.
I didn't do shit.
I didn't do shit.
It's been a busy week at work, so it's been that, and I've been recovering more with my arms, so that's been fun, I guess. I don't know. Me and my girlfriend went and saw, there's a museum here with the Jim Henson exhibit. We went and checked that out, and that was kind of cool. I got to be mere inches away from Kermit the Frog inside of a glass case, which is cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's weird because a bunch of years ago I used to work on a touring Sesame Street exhibit, and it's like, man, this is a version of this I don't actively hate because I've had to proof it.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Playing lots of Destiny, playing lots of Warframe. Digging that summer event for Monster Hunter. That's been fun to kind of go back through and get the event challenges I missed. I didn't realize how many event challenges happened like right when I was moving. So I'm like, yeah, I remember this and totally missed it. I didn't have a TV for 3 weeks. That sucked. Yeah, mostly I've learned there's some thirsty-ass dog people out there.
So please define what you mean by thirsty-ass dog people out there.
So as loyal listeners of the podcast may remember, my dog has an Instagram, and we will get some weird-ass messages on that Instagram. And they're not from people, they're from other dog Instagram accounts. And I'm not going to say they're like overtly creepy, but when you take a step back and think, wait, this is a person pretending to be a dog, contacting another dog on Instagram that's obviously a person via direct message and being like, you are such a sexy dog. It's like, this is uncomfortable now.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, like my dog has an Instagram, and I don't think the dog has ever gotten any creepy ass messages like that. Maybe it's your breed. Like, pugs attract that kind of people.
Pug people are monsters. As a pug person or as a pug owner, I am aware I am a monster.
That's
like there's a list out there they added me and Jen to where it's like owns a pug.
Got a pug, boys.
If there's ever a crime in my neighborhood now, they show up and be like, "You're on the pug list," and we go, "We understand we're now synonymous with serial killers." Yeah.
Still though, like, why would you pretend to be your dog and fucking send something like that?
Like I said, there are some thirsty ass dog people. And
Have you responded?
I don't think we responded to any of this shit. Like, and it's that rare mix of like, oh, okay, follow back. I'm like, that's fine, whatever. It's the like, yo, you a hot dog, and I'm like, A, my dog is underage. B, this is a human talking to a human. You are aware of this fact. Like, Scrump is not on my phone being like, what the fuck's up with this creepy ass motherfucker? It's me being like, what the fuck's up with this creepy ass motherfucker?
Why are people like this, man?
'Cause it's on the internet and therefore semi-anonymous.
But like, come on. People can identify you from your dog. You need to start posting that. Like, post those, like, screenshot it and then post it and be like, somebody else is, what is it? The other person's hitting on my dog, pretending to be
that would
a
be
dog.
my Instagram of people me posting shit like that, and I just don't want to go down that dark rabbit hole.
That's so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Though. I'm so glad I've never seen that shit on my dog's Instagram. Like, I know it's really douchey to have a dog Instagram.
Oh,
thing,
it's incredibly douchey.
But like, end it there. Yeah, that's where it is. But don't like, being creepy. Like, that just makes me feel dirty. I never want to post pictures of my dog ever again. Fuck that noise. Ew. Now I just feel sick.
Yep.
First I was disturbed from all the weird shit you told me about.
Yep.
Now I'm just sick. You gotta send me screenshots, by the way.
I should. I don't care enough. It's like, that's weird. Delete. The back button is so easy to get to. How's your week been?
Well, up until now, it was so bad. But then realizing there are these people that exist and they're nearby bothers me. But all right. I guess I'll try to. Let me. You know, you told me I was gonna take some time to rebuild myself in this break, and then I'm realizing now that it just is turning into this weird thing with the people I hear about. But anyway, so this week has been kind of cool. It's starting to cool down again, which is nice. I got some central air because, god damn, it was hot.
Actual central air or an AC unit?
Well, AC unit. Sorry,
I have central air. Don't confuse your peasant air conditioner with my glorious central air.
Excuse me, sir. I used to have central air, and I had a fucking Ecobee attached to it, so I could reset that shit from my phone. Do you have an Ecobee?
No, because I'm not an idiot.
What? Those things are awesome. What are you talking about?
Until someone taps into it remotely and starts fucking with your air conditioning like I do to my neighbor.
Well, that's their fault for not locking their shit down. So, mine is set on my Wi-Fi, not its own personal Wi-Fi.
That's fair.
So, anybody who does that and doesn't lock their shit down is asking for it. But anyway, it's been pretty cool. I've kind of been exploring the area a little bit more. Not too much, of course, because like I said, it's difficult to kind of go and not be able to explore with Mandy because she works on the days I have off and vice versa. So, but it's nice. Like I've been enjoying going to the parks and more. We found there's a lot of off-leash dog parks around here that are pretty cool.
Huh.
And then my newest exploration this week is these little coffee stands that are like little drive-thrus. They're kind of nice and nifty. And so I've gone there and bought coffee a few times. Okay, so I come from LA where Starbucks is a thing. That and the coffee bean and tea leaf, whatever you call it. The level of like customization and then shit that people put in their coffee up here is phenomenal.
Oh, you're in fucking adjective land, man.
Yeah, there's so much crazy shit for coffee out here. Like, they have these stacks and stacks of like rows and rows of flavors they have, and if I hadn't looked at if I hadn't gotten a better glance, I could easily assume these are all just like alcohol bottles with that weird nozzle at the top that they used to pour really quick at bars.
Wait, have you never been to a place that does like flavor shots in coffee?
Not really, other than like Starbucks and Coffee Bean.
That's a normalish thing, I guess. I thought you were talking like real exotic stuff, like they were milking a porcupine or something for an alternative to dairy or soy-based creamer.
No, it's just they have this next level flavored coffee stuff and all that stuff. It's yeah.
Have you encountered the candy bar coffee yet? Which is a coffee that has so many ingredients, it's basically a candy bar.
No.
You will.
It's a candy bar coffee.
I call them candy bar coffees. I think growing up, I think my friends did too. Eventually you will hear a coffee that the descriptor the person gives is basically the ingredients to a Snickers bar, where it basically becomes a coffee that's more like chocolate and nougat flavoring and caramel and other shit than coffee.
That's pretty fucking cool. I'd like to try your super sugary drink though.
Starbucks has them.
Like Starbucks has it? I thought. Oh, you mean like the unicorn one?
Yeah, among other things. Yeah.
Oh no, I've never had that. I always just usually get a chai. Like I don't explore on the menu. But like,
it's time to broaden your horizons. When you broaden your horizons, you wind up at my fucked up underground lucha libre fights, drinking a sugary coffee, being like, "How did I get here?"
Yeah, that's how you found your lucha libre rings was through coffee.
No, but
I'm expanding my horizons a little bit. I'm afraid of what I'm gonna find. To be honest with you, out here, like. If I was in LA, I'd be okay with expanding my horizons because I'd recognize home and I can find my way find my way home because I know the landmarks. Out here, I don't know shit. So I'm gone. I'm dead. Goodbye. So I'm going to take a hard fucking pass on expanding horizons. I'm going to live inside my apartment as long as I can. So I've got Azeroth, and that'll make me happy. So
pray they never bring coffee and lucha libre to Azeroth.
Maybe in the RP servers they will. Wouldn't surprise me.
Man, I would get back into that game if they added a Lucha Libre class. Like, a specialization for Monk is just called Luchador. That'd be fucking tight. What's it do? Grapple and high-flying aerial maneuvers. What's its build? Oh, it's a DPS tank. It's got ults like the Stone Cold Stunner.
Huh.
You haven't lived you seeing an undead give a Draenei a Stone Cold Stunner.
And Draenei Stone Cold Stunner. That would be kind of cool. Not gonna lie. That'd be pretty cool to watch. But other than the craziness of the Draenei Stone Cold Stunner, it's been kind of cool out here. It's nice that it's cooling off, literally, which is nice. I guess it's just in roller coaster of heat wave right now.
Sure.
Where it's up and down. But luckily, it's the first weekend I've had where the temperatures aren't at the high for the week. It's actually at the mid-range. Because every week before, the high temperatures for the week were always on my days off, so it was always fucking hot and disgusting in my apartment.
Yeah, that's typically how it works.
Yep, but other than that, it is nice. I will say one of the things that I also really appreciate out here is the level of people not setting off fireworks X amount of weeks after the 4th of July.
Yeah, you're right. We are still fucking doing that.
Nope, hasn't happened out here in fucking days. Like, it's been a while, and maybe there's a one-off here and there, but that's it. People are not setting off fireworks, and I have to say, I appreciate that.
I miss the gunshots.
But yeah, I guess in the gaming side of stuff that I've been up to, just mainly playing WoW, which we'll get into more this week.
It's summer. Summer sucks for gaming.
It does. It's just kind of stay at home, do your thing, wait for this fall releases to start piling through, so to speak.
It's not even the fall releases. I'm not waiting for like January, because that's when fucking everything comes out again. It's like, oh, what comes out in September? Destiny 2 stuff. What else? Who the fuck else cares? Everything else comes out in like February, January.
There's still stuff that's coming out.
I don't care about Madden.
Well, fuck Madden, but I mean, like, there's still, what do you call it? Kingdom Hearts is still coming out. Obviously, the WoW expansion. Isn't there another thing that's supposed to be coming out soon?
Probably. I'm just making a joke right now.
No. Yeah, that's all I'm like, oh, never mind.
I haven't looked. I haven't pre-ordered anything really either, so it's like, whatevs. Yeah. Does that mean it's news time?
I think it is news time.
That means it's time, Alex.
There
you go. Jazz hands. All right. Speaking of pre-ordering and rolling right into it this week. Remember Star Citizen? How I say, like, don't fucking back Star Citizen?
Yep.
despite having backed Star Citizen.
Yeah.
So someone put over $4,500 of their own money into Star Citizen, both as part of the Kickstarter campaign and since then. We'll call him Ken Lord because that's its actual name. First back Star Citizen back in 2012 as part of its Kickstarter campaign. Has been following the game, etc., ever since. He recently said enough is enough and wanted his money back. Star Citizen, RSI, the various parts of it said no, because prior to a certain point you would get your money back. Now, not so much. There was a whole kind of end-user agreement thing that happened that pissed off some people, rightfully so. But his argument was that his stuff existed prior to then. That's fine, whatever. But so this ultimately led in them going to court, where he sued them for losses and lost.
Huh. Well, it's a Kickstarter. It's kind of...
Yes, but his argument was that a lot of his money went in prior to the rule. So you can sue a Kickstarter. Nothing prevents you from doing that, and so now it does, but at the time of this happening, that rule wasn't in place yet for Kickstarter, so...
Oh, okay.
This is more of the argument that RSI, Star Citizen, the various groups used was that kind of retroactively some user agreement stuff he signed and agreed to applied to all of his previous backings, which just kind of further goes along with my ongoing comment of don't fucking buy into Star Citizen, or if you do, buy like the $20 entry pack and see if you're okay with that game. Don't put in $4,500 over time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny, too, because I remember you said, didn't we have, I know we had this discussion before about, obviously you said don't back it.
Yeah.
But, I remember you said, because there's a good guarantee you'll never get your money, kind of thing. And
it's
just kind of reinforces
I have
that.
money in that game. I have, $150 and, 3 ships, though, and as dumb as it sounds, occasionally I fire up that game, I go into one of the hangars and go, I got some cool spaceships. And that makes me feel better about myself briefly, and that's all I care about kind of thing. I go inside, I sit down in the ships, if I'm having a real bad day, I'm gonna go play with my spaceships for a minute. I'm not happy I spent this money, but I get something out of it, kind of. If you're curious about Star Citizen, they have a bunch of cheap-ass, entry-level things you can buy into you should check out, but, don't go all in, there are people that have played the shit out of that alpha. Power to them. There are entire YouTube channels dedicated to covering and following and kind of dissecting a variety of things in that game that's not even out. Some of the comments Lord had about this was how RSI successfully found a way to get people to pay for scope creep and DLC that doesn't even exist yet for a game that doesn't even exist. It is a brilliant move on their part, but at the same time, this is still a Kickstarter, even though it's no longer really technically a Kickstarter. You may never, probably won't, ever see a full game.
Yeah, and you've stressed that several times,
yeah.
too. It's the Kickstarter thing. It's a risk you're going into it. There's no guarantee you're going to get your money back. As a guy who's donated to a Kickstarter that has yet to give me my items, I know the pain.
Oh, no, and I would go one step further of, anyone who's this is a vaporware game, I can go play a version of Star Citizen. It's not a full release version of Star Citizen, but I have a version of Star Citizen on my laptop right now. Is it a good or complete version of that game? No, but some of it does exist. It's not vaporware, it's a con job. But one I'm kind of okay with because I get something out of it. But yeah, be careful when you back stuff, specifically things that have raised almost $200 million after a Kickstarter campaign closed for a game that keeps getting... But at the same time, MMOs take a fucking long-ass time to happen, and this isn't really blown past the typical how long it takes to make an MMO of this scope timelines, really. I think I was watching something that basically said, WoW took 6 years start to finish to get from kind of concept to testable product. The beta happened 6 years after they started working on it, kind of thing. And that was significantly less ambitious. But at the same time, the argument against this game is, man, they keep adding stuff that, maybe they should perfect other parts before they add this shit, which is a completely fair complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Yep. Maybe don't fund Star Citizen, or do if you're curious. I'm not going to tell you what to do, just informing you of facts.
Or, if you're going to fundraise something or kickstart something like this, just expect to go into it with the idea that you'll probably never see your money again.
Yeah. You have given your money to strangers. Assume that is equivalent to giving, like, $10 to a random person on the street being like, you're going to get me something for that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like this is like the thing that bugs me about this is there are some really legit good Kickstarter games that have come out.
Are there?
There are a few. Was it Hollow Knight? Didn't that start off as a Kickstarter game?
Did it?
I believe so. Hollow Knight, or there was also another one that's like an RPG that also was really good. I'm gonna look this up now.
You are correct.
Yeah, and Hollow Knight was a fucking great game. And not to mention, they're still up to now still updating the game and giving out some free updates and stuff like that for it. Yeah. So, I will say, yeah, Hollow Knight is one of those games that's also really fucking good. If you haven't played Hollow Knight, you should go check that out. It's a nice, I guess, it's been described as like a 2D version of Dark Souls.
I have played it.
Oh yeah, you've played it.
Yeah,
so,
it's fine. I don't like 2D versions of Dark Souls.
Well, you don't like 2D games.
This is also true.
This is very true, as when we had one of our YouTube videos where I made you play
that game is the real 2D version of Dark Souls.
Oh, yeah, I want to be the guy Gaiden. That's right. That game, yeah, but that game is made with the intention, hey, I'm going to troll the fuck out of you. So
yeah, that's really the 2D Dark Souls.
Yeah, but this one's pretty cool. I think so. There are examples of games that are really well done.
Yeah,
this is case in point. And now there's a possibility that games like these may not see funding in the future because you have assholes like the Star Citizen guys.
It's not poisoning the well. If anything, like we're not going to be Star Citizen. We're not going to be Mighty Number 9 or whatever it was called. Like people say like, oh, we're not going to be them. We're gonna do it right. Like Bloodstain, the game that came out from the Castlevania guys, looks solid and people seem happy with it.
Yeah, I kickstarted that actually. I should probably play it though because I think the game is already released now.
I don't know. There were some E3 videos of it that I'm looking at it going, Castlevania people will be happy about this, and I don't care. This is not a game for me.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I played some of the demo stuff and I liked it, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it's already out. I should probably actually play it then. So, I'll have to make sure I find that and add it to my Steam. But yeah, I don't know. Just be careful when you kickstart shit because the chances are, remember, there's always a chance. It's a chance you have whenever you give stuff on the internet. It's not an actual business. So,
yeah.
You've talked way too much about Star Citizen and their effect on the.
It is an influential thing, is the reality. Like, that game is poised to be an exceedingly big deal, or to be kind of the greatest con job ever, or a variety of other things. It's a thing. Like, it's one of those ones where it's a specter that looms in the industry, and in an industry that brought us, like, fucking Duke Nukem Forever taking forever to come out, and No Man's Sky and all that jazz. Like, you have Star Citizen that's the most, like, giant money pit version of that shit, but also, like, hey, here's the alpha. It's weird.
I will say your comment about the Duke Nukem Forever taking literally forever to come out is very meta. I can appreciate that.
You've never heard that joke before?
I've never heard that one before. So, color me surprised.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, moving on from that, we officially can announce that Shadow of War is now microtransaction free.
Yeah, finally.
Go play that game already. It was okay-ish. It was fine.
Well, I mean, it was fine before, I know, but the stupid idea of the microtransactions in a single-player game was a thing, but, I mean, I'm glad they got rid of it now.
Yes. But... Oh, yes, that game is now probably a better game. It also came out almost a year ago, so, I suspect it's one of those awkward moves where it's like, hey, we are so beyond the kind of point where microtransactions make sense, this might give us a resurgence of sales.
Yeah, and I think actually now that we mention it, it is, I think, on sale at Steam right now.
Probably.
Yeah, it is, actually. Let me look. Pretty sure it is. I saw it earlier. And, yeah, it's on sale. $20. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to play this. Did you get a chance to play this one?
I owned it, yeah. We talked about this back in like October when I was in New York playing it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were, because you took a PS4 with you, because couldn't play anything else
Yeah.
online. Yeah. Did you like it? I mean, even with the microtransaction shit, I think you...
I didn't get far enough in the game for the microtransactions to really become a thing. It was more Shadow of Mordor, which I thought was cool, but at the same time, you had to power up too much. Like, I got bored of how low level, like, it's one of those ones where you go from playing Shadow of Mordor to this, where it's like, oh, I am really nerfed right now, and I forgot how kind of whatever the first couple hours are. Like, that game is at its best when you are just kind of hunting down randomly generated, very cool orcs, and the story for that game's always been real bad. And kind of in the way of itself. Like, it's fine. Like, it is still one of, if not the best playing Assassin's Creed games to date. It does some cool stuff. It does some fun stuff. It's a fine game. I don't think I'll buy the third one if they make a third one.
You don't think you'll buy the third? Is it you're over it kind of thing?
I really enjoyed Shadow of Mordor. I thought it was kind of a cool concept. The whole building an army of orcs and like that whole nemesis system was an interesting idea. And then they expanded on it in the second game, which was cool to see like more mutations of it. But it's like, you need to do more with this. And I'm not sure what more you do with this, but adding all this like loot level shit and stuff was not what I wanted.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's one of the few times where it was, I don't want loot in this game. Like, if it's like building explosives and shit, that's fine, but I don't want to have to care about my level sword and stuff. It's like, that's too much management for a game that's really all about kind of slay the orcs, destroy the orcs, kill the orcs.
Mm.
I also think like the first one was loosely based on kind of Tolkien-esque stuff where it's like, okay, whatever. The second one is a little more token-driven to the point where it's, right, this was the worst part of the first game, but it was kind of peripheral, so it didn't matter as much. This one's really leaning hard on some of that shit, and I think is worse for it. Like, it's the obscure Tolkien, so it doesn't matter, but it's also the time for my love of like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. It's come and gone, and would this game be fine if it wasn't so grounded in kind of the One Ring to rule them all? Yeah, it'd be fine, if not maybe better. It gets in the way of the pure revenge story of, I'm gonna kill these fucking orcs.
Yeah. Well, if they fix that, or at least changed it up,
yeah.
Would you consider coming back for the third one?
Sure, I don't think they're going to. Like, franchises don't take a step back like that typically. I don't know what you'd have to change for me to care about this game, though, either. Like, what I like about that game would make a really cool $30 game. And I think that's what I want. Like, it's one of those ones where if it had just, like, I bring up this concept every once in a while. If you'd taken the first game and said, like, yo, we're adding 2 more zones for $30, I'd have been like, cool, that's all I want.
Hmm. Well, you've also talked about that similar thing when it came to, like, Destiny. You wish they had the old stuff in there anyway.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Well, it's not that I don't care about the old zones from Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor. It's, like, what I play that game for is the systematic murder of orcs. And kind of, like, the building up of my army and, like, the fun kind of politickings and the kind of cool moments that happen when you encounter a very specific orc that, like, sings you a fucking ballad about he's gonna murder your ass or something. That's cool. I don't need more story than that. Like, if I was just some dude who's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill all these orcs, I'd be like, that's a story I can get behind. Murder, yo. We talked about this last week. I don't need a deep narrative story for every game I play. Like, I really am okay occasionally with, hey, we have this awesome combat fighting mechanics that work really well. It's got kind of Assassin's Creed combat, but like also the Batman combat, and you've got like Assassin's Creed mobility, and you can mind control fuckers and dominate them and shit. Oh, that sounds kind of cool, doesn't it? Yeah. What's the story? You're killing orcs. All right. Did these orcs wrong me? They super wronged you. Oh, I'm gonna kill these fuckers.
That just wronged you. Super wronged you.
Yeah. They murder your family. Like I don't think, like I start saying, I don't think every game needs to have some deep interwoven complex narrative. I think like occasionally a good old-fashioned revenge story is good enough. Like, at its base level, the most recent God of War game has a fantastic story, is the story of, hey, your mom wants us to spread her ashes on the tallest peak in the realms kind of thing. And the story never deviates from Kratos and Boy are going to the tallest point in the realms. It's just kind of the focus keeps getting shifted around and there are obstacles in the path, but at its base level, it's, yo, we're gonna go climb a mountain. We're probably gonna kill some shit on the way there, but we're just gonna go climb this mountain, yo.
Yeah.
Like, the God of War games are pretty straightforward, too, where it was, I'm getting revenge and I'm angry. Okay? I can work with this. How angry are we? We're gonna throw a Hydra at a Hydra. Ooh, angry. Like the Hulk. And that's not to say I don't enjoy a deep narrative, too, but, like, for games with, like, God of War, Shadow of War, I think the story's like, we have to have the sprawling narrative. No, you don't. Revenge is a good enough narrative. Like, if you can throw a line of one of the characters going, I will not rest till I drink mead from that man's skull, you're good. I know how the game ends. I drink mead from that man's skull. I got a goal.
That's all you need for a goal for the game.
Occasionally, yeah. I'm not. Again, I'm not. Go back to the question we got about Anthem. Like, it's one of those ones where it's the argument of, like, the story of this game is, yo, we got this weird, fucked up world, and you're exploring it to try and to keep your civilization going, is enough for me. Like, what was it called? Frostpunk I played a couple months back. The story of that is survive against winter. Do it. And, like, there's more story there when you dig into it, but at base level, it's survival, and that's a cool enough story. It's again, I don't mind a deep driving narrative. I don't need a deep driving narrative all the time, especially if a game is focused on, like, over-the-top violence and mechanics. Like, Bayonetta has a story. I couldn't super tell you what the story of either Bayonetta game is, except, man, that combat is good. It is so stylish. Yeah. To recap, though, there are no longer microtransactions in Shadow of War.
Yeah. We went into a whole discussion about stories and what we require for games, and it started with microtransactions. In a way, thank you, microtransactions.
Speaking of microtransactions, this is the news that made me happiest this week because it's dumb and I love it and it's got crime in it. But apparently criminals are using games like Clash of Clans and Marvel's Contest of Heroes and, again, Clash Royale to fucking launder money.
How, though?
So you buy a bunch of in-game currency, and then you sell that account for the equivalent of what that money is. But you buy that money with your dirty crime money, and then you sell that money for squeaky clean, not crime money.
Huh. Okay, I can see how that works then. Are you able to log in using different accounts, though, for Clash of Clans?
Yeah.
Oh. That's... I gotta give it up to 21st century innovation for criminals. Like, do you remember a while ago we had a discussion about Pokemon Go?
Yep.
And how people were dropping lures at, like, parks late at night so they could lure people to go there, and then they would mug them?
Yeah, well, so I'd like to kind of flesh out this story. Online criminals allegedly stole roughly 20,000 credit cards, made a bunch of purchases in those 3 games, and then sold the accounts for the equivalent of those transactions made. And they did it through markets like G2G and iGame Supply.
Oh,
crime!
I gotta say, I am really, really impressed by the innovation of some of these criminals.
Fucking brilliant. I love it.
Yeah. This is fucking awesome.
Get that crime time going, yo.
Oh, man.
Well, we got some more crime, kind of, if we want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's
get this crime going.
Spree.
Sure. So you know how Nintendo's rolling out that new fancy paid-for subscription service for internet or for their online services?
Basically, the Nintendo version of Xbox Live.
Yeah, or PSN Plus. Yes.
Or PSN Plus. Yeah.
So last week and kind of this week have been marked with hackers hacking Splatoon 2 to mess with leaderboards and characters and a variety of other stuff to show just how fucking easy it is to hack that game.
So is this related by any chance to that weird that hacking the actual Switch issue?
I don't know. The article does not really go into that, but it does say that. So this was also a problem at the end of kind of the Wii U's life cycle, except it was notoriously easy to hack. The issue now is that, how do I put this bluntly? Apparently the Switch is even easier to hack than the Wii U because of some of those discoveries, I guess, but it's not a direct byproduct of that. Oh, sorry, no, I misread that. The Switch is trickier, but now the system's been cracked. It's pretty kind of out there.
Huh. But, geez.
And it's ranged from and it's been a problem. It ranged from people making themselves invincible to invisible to like just owning leaderboards and changing them. Like, look how easy this was to hack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so has this spread into other games then, or is it just Splatoon 2?
What other games? Like,
Well,
I don't mean
Mario
to be a jerk
Kart,
on this.
maybe?
Like, less competitive, I guess. Like, but I'm assuming it's in there. I had a bit of a hacking problem at one point. Splatoon, because it has leaderboards and is a lot more kind of multiplayer focused, has a more kind of visible problem.
Okay.
It's the big multiplayer game on the Switch.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, well, I'm glad they're doing it now and doing all this hacking shit because
Nintendo hasn't really responded yet. They took some posts down and were like, we don't approve of this, but a patch came out and it's still a problem.
Well, I mean, considering that the issue with the it's a hardware hack issue that they've had as well, like, I don't know if they're going to be able to get rid of this or patch this up. Unless they add, like they're talking about, I think even the hacker was like, hey, please add anti-cheat or something like that. Yeah. Which is it's kind of a weird, like, Batman-esque kind of way
I'm going to hack this game to show how easy it is to hack it, yo.
Yeah, so now you don't hack it.
Yeah.
Or so people can fix the hacking. And it's kind of ballsy. I kind of appreciate that. But, I don't know. It sucks. I'm glad, okay, this is going to sound totally fucked, but I'm kind of glad the hacker is bringing this to light now. And I really hope Nintendo responds and does something about this, because when you're going to have Smash come out in the near future, this is going to be a big fucking
I
issue.
want to see that world.
Like, this is going to be fucking big. And, I mean, to be honest, a lot of people only play local Smash anyway. I never heard, I mean, the Wii U Smash had online playability, but I don't think a lot of people played online anyway. Did they?
Has that game
I
ever
could be
really
wrong.
had... I think it had a multiplayer scene for online. You're talking about the Wii U and the 3DS's online capabilities, though, which weren't great.
Yeah. So, but I would be intrigued to see if they actually do something about this, and how bad, if they don't, this is going to affect Smash and other games that come out online.
Indeed.
Weren't they going to come out with a Dark Souls online for the Switch?
Is that out yet? It's coming. I know it got delayed. I'm not sure if that's out, but that game's always had hacking issues, though, too.
Has it? Oh, I didn't.
Especially the PC versions have been rife with that.
Huh.
Is that out yet? I don't know.
Well, it'd be fun to see what the hackers can come up with until they actually add some anti-cheat functionality. So, but yeah, I don't know. Just sucks, but I mean, it is what it is at this point.
Yep.
The hardware, there's only so much you can do, and I guess Nintendo, considering they have a history of having their shit get hacked relatively easy, maybe that's why they never really got too much into the online game, because they're like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, maybe. Well, speaking of things that also suck, this is a good week for transitions. Xaviant Games, makers of The Culling, have pulled The Culling 2 after it straight bombed off Steam.
The Culling, what? Oh, I heard about this, yeah.
This
so what's
game
going on
did
with this?
so bad on release, they just kind of took it off Steam.
They're like, we're just going to get rid of this.
Yeah,
Is this a sequel to the first Culling that I never heard about?
Yep. So The Culling came out last week, as of this recording, and in a week it had dropped down to single-digit online players, and Xaviant's reaction was, yeah, we're just going to end this shit.
Wow.
If you bought the game, you are eligible for a refund. They are telling you that rather than trying to fix this, you should just go back to The Culling 1.
Wow. Holy shit. And I thought that one game that guy did, what is it? Oh, what was it? The supposed to be online competitor, the hardcore version. What was his name? So it was supposed to combat like Overwatch and all those games.
Oh, Battleborn?
not Battleborn. It was the other one, like, but for the hardcore gamers, because it's bloody, and this and that. It's by that dude who, I think, pissed off a lot of people.
Oh, Cliffy B's latest thing.
Yes!
Oh, God,
Not the Battle Royale. Lawbreakers, yeah, Lawbreakers. I feel like it's at least Lawbreakers doesn't hold the record for, like, the steepest fucking drop in game release on Steam.
Yep.
Because they had, like, their drops got really fucking bad, but this is next level. Holy shit. Although I will say it's a shame that Cliffy B's thing didn't end up working out for Battle Royale, because apparently that one was looking pretty promising.
Yeah.
A lot of people were into it. But anyway, I digress.
Yes.
Is this unheard of? Or is this like a first time you've ever heard of something like this, where they're like, you know what?
I think so.
Let's just go ahead and go back to the first culling, guys.
Yeah.
Let's pretend this never happened. Oh, man. Shit, that's crazy. Although I will say, did you see this tweet that they...
The dog thing? Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that's kind of... I will say it's kind of refreshing in a way to see that, like, a studio is willing to kind of admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even on their Twitter account, the original Battle Royale game show, excuse us while we rewind the clock to day one, R.I.P. the Culling 2.
Yep.
Huh. I kind of like that they're willing to kind of...
I think you have to. Like, it's one of those ones where it's like, man, you guys fucked up so hard, you have to, like, be like, ha ha! Just see how hard we fucked up?
Yeah. I will say that's kind of refreshing to see a company be willing to, like, hold the L gracefully. Like, it's very graceful of them to kind of be like, all right, you know, I fucked up. Yep, this is on me.
Yeah.
So I will give them kudos on this.
Sure.
But sucks that it was so bad they literally had to go back just like, hey guys, that first culling though, guys. Hey,
yeah.
That first culling.
We got a solution if you hate this game. Go back and play our old game.
Yeah. But this is refreshing. I will say I give the studio kudos. How do you say it? Zavariant?
Xaviant? I don't know.
Xaviant, yeah. Oh, yeah, kudos to them. That's kind of cool. Cool about doing that, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of doing cool things, or good things, I guess, I don't know what you would call it, we got some WoW news. We got some two-part WoW news. First off, if you subscribe to WoW, you only have to have the most recent expansion, or more accurately, you only have to buy the most recent expansion if you want to play it. All old stuff is now free as part of your subscription. You don't have to even own World of Warcraft anymore to play, except for the subscription.
Yep. So only have to buy the newest one, and that's actually a really cool way to go, so to speak. So, and that's kind of nice. I will say it is interesting though, because, well, I'll say the good things and the bad things. So the good thing about it, of course, is being that it's way more accessible for people now.
Yep.
Way more, without having to, because one of the things with a couple of coworkers of mine that I've talked about was it was hard for them to get back into WoW, considering they hadn't played since Wrath, and they didn't want to have to buy every single fucking expansion or a chest, so to speak, to get them caught up to the most recent. You didn't.
You just had to have WoW still. I guess that's the part people are confused by. If you've never played WoW before and you get back into WoW, you have to buy kind of WoW and the most recent expansion. Or you have to buy WoW and something, and they kind of boost you along.
Yeah. Well, this is nice that there's just the original WoW is no longer needed. You just need the most current expansion, which is nice. It also, in a way, gives them a reason to bump up the price of the current expansion.
Yeah.
Which I can see that happening, but it makes sense because you're only paying once for the game and then just the subscription fee to keep playing it. So, in a way, this is a great move on their part, and kind of a cool move to kind of go about it. I will say I will miss I still have all my old expansion boxes, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, kudos to WoW doing something right. And then we'll turn this around and talk about what WoW has been fucking up. So,
take it away, Alex.
All right. So, this past week, Blizzard released the new patch leading up into the new expansion. So, what Blizzard does now... Yes. So what Blizzard does now is they will take the patch that's supposed to roll out all the changes for live, roll it out maybe a month before, so people can, get used to any class changes that have taken place, and there have been quite a few class changes across the board, especially for some more specs than others, like Demonology, Warlock, and not Survival... Survival Hunters. So... there have been a lot of changes. And so with this patch, they were introducing a couple new mechanics, but also stat squishing and things like that. And this release was pretty fucking bad compared to Legion. Legion's release was fucking smooth. Legion's pre-patch was phenomenal. It was solid, not a lot of issues. They even introduced Demon Hunters early on. You can kind of get set up, but it was clean. This one unfortunately was not at all. So, let's see. Let's go down the list of all the weird shit. So some of the old bosses from back in the day have become stupid overpowered with the pre-patch because of the stat squish, and they didn't follow along with it. Some abilities were doing no damage. Case in point, Moonfire.
Nice.
So Druids would cast Moonfire, and then nothing would.
It's gone from not doing any damage to officially not doing any damage.
Yeah, because that's always kind of interesting, and I think it's just that, but also some heals were doing no healing, which is interesting. What else we got? There's a little pet called the baby elephant, and it takes a bath and would deal 56k damage, which would probably kill most people.
Nice.
So. Stuff like that.
That's not a glitch, that's a feature.
Yeah. One of my favorite comments about that bug was it would take a bath in your blood. So
baby elephant will bathe in your blood.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like a lot of the stuff was maybe revolving around some of the old raid stuff. Some of the mobs became super difficult to kill, especially part of the leveling process. It seems like leveling has gotten really fucking difficult because it takes a while for you to kill one mob. So they've broken the leveling experience so far.
Well, that got changed back when I was still playing even. They made all that a little bit harder.
Yeah, but it made it a lot difficult.
Sure. No, I'm not saying they'd make it even harder again.
Yeah. So there's a couple weird graphical bugs as well. I guess one of them in particular was... You know who Kael'thas is?
Yes.
Well, apparently in the new patch, for some reason, now he's bald. For no reason.
Okay.
Nobody knows why, but his hair's gone. So instead of being this golden, luxurious, blonde-haired blood elf magician or mage, he's just bald.
Now he's a magician. He was a mage. Now he's a magician who's like, I gotta get to fucking Atlantic City, man. I got a gig. This will put me over the top. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I got these fire tricks.
Yeah. So there were a couple animation issues. So some things that were queued up for some raids stopped working. Case in point, or one of the ones in particular would be the Undead Dragons before the Shinjugosa fight in ICC stopped working entirely. There's some broken quests. There were some achievements that now became impossible because, case in point, or one of the examples is there's a chef title that you can get for your character. You can no longer achieve this because they're tied to a PvP zone that is no longer in the game. So that's now broken. Tier sets got broken. Some items don't work or aren't accessible because of... so they changed the way the professions work as well. So that stuff stopped working. God, what else? There's just a lot of little weird stuff. They also broke some add-ons that people really fucking liked. So, it's really shitty, but so one of the things that people really liked was World Quest Group Finder. It was an add-on that when you went to an area that was a area that in particular that had what was it? You could do a quest because they have World Quest now. You can do to kind of do your daily quest, so to speak. There was a quest add-on that would automatically you can click on and then get added to a group. So apparently, they broke that now, so you can't even find groups, and that pissed off a lot of people because it was really easy to jump in, do some quests, and get pulled into a group really quick. But now you can't even do that because they broke the add-on. So that's pissed off a lot of people too. Yeah, it's just there's a bunch of shit that happened beforehand. I think even Blizzard has come out to acknowledge it. I think they did a developer live stream recently, and they said this patch did not go anywhere near.
Yeah, they got out there and were like, "Oh, we fucked up. Sorry."
Yeah, so I will say it's cool of them to kind of go over that, but yeah, it's just God. This has been really fucking gnarly to say for a patch. This was not a smooth patch. This was pretty gnarly. And I guess what they were saying is that one of the biggest parts about it is the stat squish. It caused a lot of issues. So, Yeah, because the last time there was a stat squish was Warlords of Draenor. So it's
We all remember how well that one went over.
yeah. Well, that expansion we don't like to talk about too much. But yeah, it's pretty bad. So they're working through it right now. But for the most part, right now, this pre-patch has
they
been
got
somewhat...
time to fix it before it's actually a bigger issue.
Yeah, so they're working the way around it right now. I mean, there's some stuff that came out with this patch that really does work.
Yeah.
Like the Legion, the Legacy loot stuff is really cool. I think they fixed one in particular. There was a bug where you can go back and do an old LFR raid. And when you did it, the minions were dropping like 50 to 100 gold per mob, like group. So people were farming raw gold real fucking easy. That got nerfed immediately, but
again,
like
not an error. That's a feature.
Yeah. So stuff like that has kind of been happening right now with the legacy loot system and things like that. But for the most part, they've had better releases, is what I'm trying to say. But this one did not go well. But yeah, so far that's all we have in regards to the stat squish and things.
More on this story as it develops.
Yeah. So we'll see. They still have a whole. Next patch comes out 13th, so they've got well over a month or 4 weeks to fix it. So,
sure.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Well then, I suppose it's time for our main topic this week. Again, it's summer, so we're not going to get a chance to build off of a major news topic this week, and well, maybe we kind of technically are because you have been playing WoW, and that kind of plays into our main topic. So, me and Alex have both found ourselves in a bit of an interesting spot where both are preparing for big expansions to come out. I'm busy preparing for Forsaken because I make poor life choices, and Alex is doing WoW stuff because he makes worse ones, but yeah.
We both play video games that it requires us to sink in a lot of times.
Yeah.
We both make terrible decisions. Let's be honest.
Indeed we do. Yeah, and maybe interesting is the wrong word, but since we're both kind of locked into these cycles of exceedingly grindy behavior, I thought it might be interesting. And if you're preparing for kind of two big expansions that are coming out soon, it's probably either Forsaken or Battle for Azeroth. Let's be honest. Like, as much as we all like to be, oh, Destiny is dead, meh, it's still got a fucking gigantic ass player base, and WoW still has like what 6 million people playing it or something.
Yeah. Actually, ever since the numbers. Well, here's the thing. It's hard to know what the actual numbers are because I think they stopped releasing the subscriber numbers after a certain time. But last time I heard it actually shot up quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it was back up to like 8 was the estimation with Legion.
Yeah, because Legion actually did really well. For an expansion, Legion did really fucking well.
Yes.
So
one might argue these are some of the biggest games on the face of the planet, and as much as we all like to sit there and go, meh, they're dead, no one cares, they're big deals. Like, there's a reason, despite every article written on sites like Polygon and Kotaku, about how, like, oh, Destiny's dead, no one cares. They're still fucking running a ton of news about both of those games.
Yep.
And it's because people are reading them. Maybe angrily reading it and taking the time to be like, I clicked this, I'm not going to post out Destiny's a dead game in the comments, ha-ha! But you still care, that means. You fool. They played you.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, no, so I guess in our discussion here that we were going to talk about was, we're getting ready for this. So do you have anything that you do obviously we'll talk about the actual, what you're doing right now to get ready for the expansion release, but is there any personal rituals as well that you've kind of developed or done to get ready for it?
So the Destiny grind, it's weird because in Destiny 1, the grind was this bizarre habit called edging. And I know I said that to you once and you thought I was talking about the masturbation thing from Orange is the New Black, but the idea behind edging in Destiny 1 was that game was a game about filling up gauges. Destiny 2 was no different. But the idea for Destiny 1 was that you filled as many gauges as possible to right on the brink of kind of overflowing, giving you new gear right before an expansion came out. And you did this because there were very few currencies in that game. Like, there was no way of stockpiling stuff to then trade in for whatever you want to call it to equal parts at that point, kind of thing. Destiny 2 is all about various coin currencies. So as opposed to kind of only trying to fill up gauges, I'm just stockpiling every currency I can like a crazy person.
Okay.
I think I got like 200 or 300 coins for every planet in the game right now on my character.
Gee, does that old content come in handy? Like, or that old?
So the way and the reality is, the answer is it won't be as useful because it won't be new stuff, but it might be new stuff dropping at higher level. That was the idea behind previous things, where like you'd start the game off with better guns hypothetically because you're just cashing in everything right when a new level system drops.
Got it. Okay, because the way they have their gear scaling is what you're... Yeah, as you're leveling up, the blue gear scales up, and you can sync it up, or what is it when you absorb it into your new gun?
Infusion.
Infusion, there you go. So yeah, I mean, I can see that in Destiny 2 working out, because that's pretty much what you have to do with every gear grind, is you get the drops and then diffuse it into your guns that you want to keep, so they get the higher numbers.
And they've gotten out there and said that, unlike Destiny 1, where kind of year 1 gear stopped at year 1, Destiny 2's gear is going to continue in. Like, it may be pulled from the loot table, but you'll still be able to upgrade it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or it won't be dropping as frequently, but it still will be viable potentially in game. And as a result, there are like your exotics. You had to rebuild all your exotics essentially in Destiny 1, which sucked. But this time around, all that stuff will carry forward, which is a big deal. Because I have at least 2 guns I am a big fan of, and I've spent a lot of time playing with them.
Okay.
Yeah, like the whole masterworking element to Destiny 2, which I masterworked my shotgun in that game, the what's it called? The auto shotgun, I'm blanking on the name of. I painted it red, so I can't even describe it correctly. I masterworked that recently because I'm going to be using that shotgun. I fucking love that shotgun. Like, you will have to make a better shotgun in that game for me to not use that shotgun kind of thing.
Which one is this one again?
I don't remember. I think I'd have to look up the name. It's agreed upon as one of the best shotguns in the game. It's the auto one.
Oh, is that the one that belongs to the one? It's named after one of the characters.
Yes.
That I used to have.
Clan lady. Yeah.
That shotgun is fucking great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I find myself even now, like with some of the Destiny playing I've been doing, there's certain gear that I just really fucking like.
Yep.
Like my current auto rifle that I have from one of the, I don't know if you can still get it, but it's the one from the faction rally.
Yes, you can.
Future War Cult.
Yeah,
it's a Future War Cult auto rifle.
The number, yeah. Or a number.
I love that. Yeah,
yep.
That gun is fucking great, and I refuse to get rid of that one. So, and I'm sure they've released better guns since then, but like, there's a few tried and true like that. There's a hand cannon that has the explosive kinetic round on it as well. What is it? Well, it does explosive damage once it hits. Is
that Better Devils, or is that the Future War Cult one?
Better Devils. That one is really fucking good too.
Yep.
So I like hanging on to those old guns that work really well.
Yeah.
Although it's interesting because I don't know if that becomes an issue at some point with the new guns are just not worth it. Maybe that people hang on to the old guns. You don't think there'll be a force people's hands to say you can't upgrade it anymore?
So in Destiny 1, that was a problem because there was a gun called Fatebringer that when the first piece of DLC came out, The Dark Below, you couldn't upgrade guns, but Fatebringer was so fucking good, the damage difference didn't matter, so people were still using it even though it was underpowered. And then they added the ability to upgrade stuff in the second DLC, and that kind of fixed things. And I think the argument they might have made was that, yeah, maybe we made a couple of the guns a little too broken. Like, there were 2 or 3 hand cannons in Destiny 1 Year 1 that, yeah, they were a little busted. They were fantastic guns, but they were fun as hell. It's the raid stuff. I don't know. I have 2 guns right now I'd like to play the rest of Destiny 2 with and never swap out kind of thing. And if they'll let me do that, I'll be happy. But we'll see. It kind of goes back to which version of the story do you believe in? Like, it's there are definitely guns. Like, my favorite gun from Destiny 2 is a gun I got after the Taken King dropped. It was this Hake pulse rifle that had kind of the half glass full perk and hungering clip, which meant, or maybe it wasn't called hungering clip, but basically the perks were the second half of the clip does double damage, and if you killed anything, you reloaded at twice the speed, so you could just tear through shit with that gun.
Huh.
It was never a top tier multiplayer gun. It was never a top tier anything, but that gun carried me through just so much of Taken King. Like, I think if I wasn't using a specific gun for a specific encounter, I was using that gun still.
Yeah, no, so I know with WoW we've had some of those issues in the past where you have like gear that happens to be really fucking good, but it's super old, and they don't want you to use that item because it's what was it? It broke a couple mechanics. Like I'll give you an example of one that I actually personally ran into. So there was a it actually ended up changing mechanics as well as the gear itself, but there was a dagger early on in ICC or during Wrath that was 1.3 attack speed, and so for the dagger offhand, that's really fucking good. It's fast. So what people would do is instead of playing like combat the way they normally would, they would run the dagger in their offhand, and all they would do is spam there was I forgot what it was called, but it was a shiv attack that mainly used your offhand dagger to attack. But it was the energy cost was based off of the speed. So you had a fast attacking offhand, so you could apply poisons like crazy. So it very much broke damage meters for a while because it was stupid good. But that got phased out when they changed the mechanics for it. But there was also gear in the past that was like a trinket that would kind of like make some fights trivial for some players, and that got eventually nerfed across the board because they didn't want you doing that. So I find it interesting that with Destiny, they're like, yeah, no, keep your old gear. Like, go ahead and do that.
I think the difference is WoW is a stat-driven game.
Yeah.
Destiny is not. You could have the best gun in Destiny, and if you still suck at playing the game, guess what? You still suck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to call WoW an easy game to play because there are nuances to it, but the second-to-second combat of that game is significantly easier to learn, at least. You have your rotations, you have kind of the buttons you press. There's a lot less timing based into it. There's no aiming, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one of those ones when you're balancing based off of numbers, that's one thing. Like, Destiny, the reality is, like, in its current state, they've achieved a level of balance, allegedly, with the guns in that game that they like. Meaning,
yeah,
for now, everything's balanced. And if you move forward with that, you're starting off from a balanced base, or at least a base they think is okay. So, I don't know. I personally like the idea of being able to take my gear with me. I always have. It's something they said you could do, and they're actually doing it this time, so yay. And I think unlike a stat-driven game like WoW, if you make something cool enough in Destiny 2's expansion, I will use it if it's cool and if it shoots good. If it's not cool and I don't like it, guess what? I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually one thing I have appreciated about Destiny, is that you can use all your old gear and just kind of carry along and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you get to make the character you want to a certain extent. Like, it's within reason. That's actually kind of the thing that worries me some about the Forsaken stuff is some of those subclasses sound real cool, and some of them are, I want that super, I don't want the rest of what you're saying, though. Like, can I have the cool super, but not the rest of that bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
And there was rumors they're going to kind of mess with the talent tree stuff, so we'll see, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I look forward to seeing what they're going to do as far as the Destiny stuff goes, but, like, I guess, so other than, like, since we kind of dove off into the distance here with this one, but, so what other stuff are you doing to kind of get ready for, like, and is this something, like, I think it's Destiny the first game you've actually done this to kind of prep up beforehand?
Nah, I did it for WoW and stuff like that. I remember I played WoW into the Burning Crusade and all that jazz. It's not my first expansion in a game, it's just the one I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm. And you said you don't have anything particular you do for yourself to kind of get ready for a new expansion and stuff like that, right?
Nah, it's just I got Forsaken on pre-order. It'll self-download and self-install, and that'll be that.
Uh-huh.
Not a lot more to do there, kind of thing. Like, I went through the craziness of getting a physical collector's edition of Taken. No, I didn't. I did it for the base version of both games, but I have a digital version of Destiny 2 on my PS4. maybe there'll be some cool Forsaken box set out there, but I'm not spending that money again. Yeah, there's not much to it for me. Like we're recording right now in the middle of the last faction rally of season 3, and there was 2 sparrows I wanted to make sure I got, so I really ground Howard on that. I missed the boat when they said, like, hey, we're definitely going to be doing kind of more locked-in time gear, so I missed 2 faction rallies, essentially, for Season 3. If I had known, I would have probably put more time in, because I joined Future War Cult this time around so I could get the Sunshot Masterwork thing, because that stuff does cool shit, and probably won't get there, because that's a lot more grinding than I'm willing to do currently. Like, the next big event is the Moments of Triumph and the Destiny 2 Summer Solstice thing, which they've been kind of cagey about what the hell that will actually be. So my answer may change when that drops. Who knows? I can unlock a t-shirt, allegedly. It's weird. Like, it's Destiny 1 and Destiny 1 Taken King. I had loyalty's the wrong word, but more investment in them. So the idea of not having like a max level progression score, a max level kind of Moments of Triumph thing, bugged me. This time around, it's like, I'll get whatever the fuck I get. Who cares? I am casual this time around. Like, I got the cool looking jet bike I wanted, and I got some guns I think are cool. I'll do some of the Moments of Triumph. Like, the Moments of Triumph will be an excuse to go through and actually fucking do that raid already and do the other parts of it. But I'm not even gonna bother doing the prestige modes, I think. Like, it's like, oh, you should do some Trials of the 9. Nah, I'm not gonna. Fuck that shit. Like, maybe I'll run my Hunter up because there's some cool Hunter gear going on, and that actually has some cool looking new subclass stuff going into the next expansion. But yeah, I'm pretty boring on that topic. It's the whatevs.
Gotcha.
So what is your road to WoW 8.0 or 8.8? 8.1? Would that be the correct name for it? Like,
8.0 works, I guess, or just Battle for Azeroth, whatever you want to call it, one or the other. So for me, one of the biggest things to kind of get done first is obviously pick a main, so kind of get that squared away. I've narrowed it down to 2, which I've kind of been really happy about, but pretty much either going to be my Demon Hunter or my Warlock, just because I'm having fun with both right now.
Warlock for life.
But Warlock is great, but there's something, like, the thing is, I've always been a melee-based player, so picking up Warlock for part of this expansion was kind of weird for me. I mean, it's been fun, but it is definitely weird. So kind of settling down, picking a main, and then I do a lot of reading beforehand, so I'll do all the research when it comes to the character stuff beforehand. I mean, luckily, WoW has tons of resources for that stuff, or just, like, the community is really good about that.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of reading and deep diving when it comes to that stuff beforehand.
Sure.
So I will literally go around, check out stuff from websites, a bunch of other stuff. So that's just kind of stuff that I do. I do a lot of research beforehand. That's one of my biggies. So once I do all that stuff as far as that goes, research, pick my main, things like that, especially now with the pre-patch stuff, I definitely play a lot of just nonsense in the meantime, just to kind of make sure I get all that squared away. In terms of getting comfortable with the rotation, the movement, things like that. Also, like, PvE, PvP, lots of dungeons, just kind of get ready for it, which is weird because that's normally what you do once you're actually in it. But, like, and then luckily, since I have access to the beta, I check out some of the, like, optimal leveling patterns and stuff like that. Because, like, sometimes one of the things I've done recently is I'll play through the first time and actually really my first character will always be the one I just power through and get leveled up, or I'll actually watch the story and enjoy. So I usually kind of, depending on how I'm going to level up, I'll go that route. But I usually, like, I really enjoyed watching some of the story unfold, especially with Legion. It was great to fucking watch and be a part of in that sense. So, I know you're not big on the story stuff, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. So once I get that all pretty much squared away, if I'm going to do a 24-hour thing, obviously I get all my stuff beforehand, my energy drinks, things of that nature to get that all squared away, because I will, like, I've done it in the past. I'll take days off of work to go, like, power level and get that squared away and power up and do that. So I'm taking days off, but since I'm in a new job, it's a lot harder for me to do.
Oh, no, to your point, like, if I hadn't had a fucked up shoulder for the last couple months or last couple weeks, however long it's been at this point, the studio would be set up, and I'd be like, yeah, we'll probably do a Forsaken live stream of some kind, like we've done with all the other major Destiny shit.
Yeah.
But we're not doing that because I'm not set up, probably.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing it either because, like I said, I started a new job, so I can't really take the days off. And considering that, WoW is going to end up releasing on a fucking Tuesday again.
Yep.
Could have done it. Could have done it. Whatever that Saturday was, 24th. Could have been the 24th. Could have even been the 17th. You guys would have been fucking great. But no, pick a weekday. You fucking assholes. Anyway, yeah. So it's a lot of just doing all my research beforehand. Is probably my biggest thing.
Sure.
And then the last little thing that I kind of do because I'm really anal about it is I will spend the next month tweaking my add-ons to make sure everything is just right for the new expansion.
Gotta check these mods, yo.
Yeah, because, dude, like, playing WoW raw, I guess, with just the normal
the way I play it?
It's fucked. Ugh. I'm not a big fan of the default UI, but, like, boy, do I fucking love using, what do you call it? Like, Elv UI and stuff like that, so it just makes it so much cleaner. But yeah, other than that, like, that's pretty much what my routine is and getting set up and things like that. So, not much else other than just, like I said, getting myself mentally ready.
Is your body ready?
My body will probably be ready.
Will it?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Probably. Except to my UI.
Gotta get your pre-WoW catheter installed.
I don't go that level. That level of if I ever get that level with some gaming, just fuck my life, bro. Like, I'm done. Forget it.
Take your dogs and your girlfriend away.
Yeah, just all the things. I don't deserve it.
Sure.
So
your devotion to the WoW is too strong.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I guess it's probably time to end our main topic this week so we can do our fan and listener correspondence, if you will.
Yeah.
Because while an unhealthy love for video games is wrong, an unhealthy writing into this podcast is oh so right. Alex, if you wanted to get in contact with us, how would you go about doing that?
Well, it's very simple. You would just email us at a little email address labeled wickedawesomecast@gmail.com.
Again, that's wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. Spelled as it sounds down in the show notes, etc., etc. We say it every week. Hopefully, if you're listening, you should know it by now. And obviously, this fan did because they chose to email us at it. And it goes like this. They wrote it anonymously, or else I'd read their name. Dear Wicked Awesome Cast, but mostly Alex. Recently, I, like Alex, moved from my home state to a new one as part of the parking process, found myself having to really think about what I brought with me. I'm not totally sure what Alex wound up doing, but in my case, if it didn't fit in my car, it wasn't coming with me. As a result of this, I found myself parting with a few things that either probably wouldn't survive the trip or just weren't worth bringing with me. As a result of this, I have significantly less stuff, but also now regret some of the things I didn't bring along. So, Alex, is there anything you opted not to bring with you that you wish you had? Did you encounter anything that at one point you couldn't imagine not taking with you but ultimately didn't?
Let's see. So, one of the things I really wish I would have brought was my old microwave, because it was a really powerful microwave, and I decided to leave it for the new residents of that apartment I left. To be honest with you, a lot of the stuff I wanted to bring with me, I got to bring with me because I ended up renting a shipping container
to
bring my stuff. So there was some stuff. Actually, there is one, my old computer chair. I kind of wish I would have brought it, but I'm going to end up buying a new one now out of necessity as opposed to a want. Because I'm sitting on a wooden chair every day now to play games on my computer, and it does fucking hurt my butt. So, yeah, it sucks, but I'm probably gonna have to find one of those. They have an old discount furniture place around here in Portland that has the Aaron Miller chairs, or the Ermin Miller Aaron chairs. So
okay,
I'm probably gonna go that route. Who knows? But
you were looking at those fancy gaming chairs at one point, weren't you?
Well, the fancy gaming chairs also don't provide too much support, but
gotcha.
I've heard they provide pretty solid support. Let me rephrase that. Not to discount any of them. It's just for a man of my stature. Probably not so much.
I thought they made a big boy model.
They do for a few. A couple of them cap out over or under where I'm at. So
gotcha.
That makes it a little more difficult. There are a few though that do definitely hit like the bigger levels, which is really nice. So kudos to them who make those. They know their demographic really well.
Yo, we cater to fat people, yo.
Yeah. Hey, you fat piece of shit. You want to sit down comfortably somewhere near your computer? I got you. So,
how dare you not stand through this entire 8-hour gaming session?
Yeah. I was going to bring my desk, but I decided not to, and I ended up building a cheaper desk, which I think is a lot nicer with IKEA furniture, which I really enjoy. Cost me less than $100 to build this table. So, that was nice. Let's see. There isn't a lot I regret not bringing.
Sure.
Other than just like the chair and all that. Stuff that I did bring, for the most part, is stuff that like near the end of my packing experience, I realized a lot of this stuff is just stuff that I have that I don't want to throw away, but I also don't want to like take,
yeah,
so to speak. So there's a good chunk of stuff I just got rid of, but I actually still have boxes packed of stuff that we have because my old place didn't have a living room technically, so I need to build a living room. So right now, all of our spare boxes and stuff that we have sits in the living room.
Huh.
So yeah, until we get like sofas and stuff like that, and a little entertainment center and a TV, because I never had a TV before in my old apartment. I used to just watch everything on my monitors.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can't say there's too much I actually regretted bringing, but I will say there's a lot of stuff I cut off. The computer is one of the few things that actually did ride in my car. So I was like, everything else can go in the fucking container. My computer goes in my car.
Gotcha.
Fuck that noise. So, I'm not trusting my computer to go in a fucking shipping container. Fuck
my
no.
baby.
Nope. Every single thing in there went in my car.
Did you drive straight from LA all the way to Portland or nah?
Yeah.
How long did that
Pretty
take?
much. With stops and naps, because we were pretty exhausted when we left in the first place, so we took a few hour naps in between, but overall it took about 24 hours.
Okay.
Even though the drive itself is only about 15 hours.
Okay, so you could do it in a day though if you left at like 8 a.m. in the morning.
If you leave at 8 a.m., it's actually worse because the traffic leaving out of LA would be a pain.
Sure.
I personally like to leave at night. So like if I were to head off like at 8 p.m.,
gotcha.
Realistically, if you left at 8 p.m., you can make it to Oregon or at least Portland around noon the next day.
Huh.
You're
dead tired, but
well, like I mean, it depends. If you're rested, then when you leave, you're good to go. Like I've done that drive before. I've made it to Portland from LA in 15 hours, and that was only stopping to use the restroom, grab drinks, and then keep going. That was it.
Do method truck stops, yeah. You know, the normal driving routine.
Yeah, like that was it. But like, I'm transporting. You know, I'm leaving with my girlfriend. She's driving her car, and we've got 2 dogs.
Oh, yeah, you guys caravanned it. I forgot.
Yeah. So the dogs have to take breaks and walk around and, you know, get acclimated and stretch their legs out a little bit. So that took time. So each stop was anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. And then we also took naps in between.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We stopped at one place I felt was super shady and creepy as fuck. And I was like, nope, let's go. Let's just go to the next spot. And then we went to a rest stop in Oregon, and it was so pretty. The rest stops up here are fucking phenomenal. So...
yeah.
Yeah, other than that, that was pretty much my...
Yeah. I did
drive
not
up.
have as much of a drastic move as either of you two did, but I definitely threw out a lot of the gamer swag stuff I had left over from various conventions and stuff when I moved.
Yeah, I have a lot of that stuff still, and I still have to throw out stuff.
I use moving as a time to be like, why the fuck did I even take this shit home?
Yeah, I could see that. I think I'm going to do that now, to be honest.
Yeah, I had like an inflatable spear from like when they were like, hey, what's it called? Horizon Zero Dawn's coming this year. And I'm like, that's neat. Got home. This was stupid. That lived behind my couch for a month or two. No, like for a year or two. My bad. Yeah, I reached a point where I don't buy a ton of junk. I have stuff, but like it's all stuff I care about. I suspect you're kind of the same way at this point.
Yeah, right now I am, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done a car move in a long ass time. Last time I did that was probably back before I moved to LA, and that definitely makes you like, do I even need this mattress? Could I sell this mattress for enough money to buy a new one? Yeah.
No, we kept our mattress for now.
Yeah. That's actually my biggest regret with the house was we did not buy a bigger mattress and or bed set. I kind of, in hindsight, wish we had.
I'm definitely going to buy a new mattress pretty soon once money's a little more stable with the move and all that stuff, after that,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Thanks for writing in.
Mm-hmm.
That about does it for this week, though. That was our one email this week. You streaming yet?
Yes, I actually am streaming weekends now, so you
Cool.
can catch me streaming Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Fridays and Saturdays, I usually start somewhere around maybe 11.
What you streaming these
AM?
days?
Mainly WoW and Overwatch. So, finally hit Diamond.
Woo!
So I'm happy about that in competitive. So, catch me playing some Diamond, Overwatch stuff, and then also WoW, especially more WoW as the expansion gets closer. And
Sure.
of course, when the expansion releases, there will be a lot of WoW content. So,
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Anything else?
no, I think that's it. Other
Yeah.
than check me out on my stuff, and yeah, I'll stream.
Nothing new on my end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
More
follow my
healing for
dog's.
the arm.
Yeah. Go follow my dog's Instagram if you want to see some weird stuff. We bought her a new bed. It's cute or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
My goal is for my dog to be more successful than I am, so I can sponge off it.
Well, it's already got a couple suitors coming in.
I used to know someone who was into the competitive dog breeding. Not used to. I know them still. I used to interact with them a lot more because I used to live near them. And ever known a dog breeder before? I mean, like a competitive dog breeder who like did the dog shows and shit like that.
Say that again?
Ever known a dog breeder like a competitive dog show like Westminster, whatever the fuck it's called, thing that shows up after the Thanksgiving Day Macy's Day Parade?
Nope, never.
Those people are fucking monsters.
I can imagine.
So much so that I babysat one of her puppies once, and this was a week after she had bought a puppy from a different litter she was going to keep one male from the litter she just birthed because there was kind of a statistically there's going to be one. She basically bought one of the dogs that had just been birthed, like, dog is 6 weeks old, a concubine for breeding purposes.
Oh.
It was a little messed up. I don't know how I got on that topic, but now you know that story.
Yeah.
Yes, dog people are weird.
Yeah, no, I know that. Some next level dog people can be fun.
Yeah. But yes, video games. We're a podcast about that. You got nothing else to talk about this week. Let's close it out with Cue the Metal.